Solomon.
Okay, Solomon. Yeah, you sound a little bit cloudy. So, are you familiar with the story of the two spies that went to Jericho?
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, and whereas she pretty much just made a deal with the spies because Rahab had heard how powerful the God of Israel was, from afar, and she felt like she'll do the two spies a solid because they'd been made basically, and the people of Jericho were on their trail. So what she did was, which you probably know, I'm just going over. What she did was she had them hide up in her room upstairs somewhere, who knows, but it's upstairs. She had them hide in their room with a deal because she said, okay, I'm going to hide you guys, but I want a deal out of this because I know what you guys came to do. Basically, you came to sack this city, so I'll make a deal. I'll hide you guys, or you can accomplish your task for the Most High as long as you preserve my life, my family's, lineage, basically. And that's what happened. So, as the story goes, the city of Jericho was sacked, and her life was spared, and her father's house life was spared as well. Uh, but let me ask you, why do you possibly believe she was in Jesus' royal lineage?
I never really thought about why she was mentioned in it. I, I don't. I never really thought about it. I have to think about that. I don't really have an answer.
Yeah, that's fair. So, are you familiar with the birth of Christ?
Yes,
Okay, so you have already read the Immaculate Conception in Matthew 1 and Luke 1. I'm supposing.
I don't see the word immaculate conception in any of those um, books.
Yeah, we're humans, so when we read the Bible, we use our modern terms to define things that was of old. So like that's normal. Like you'll see many people going to, even like Muslims, if they go into their religious book nowadays in 2023, they're going to use their terminologies now to phrase things that happened before. But yeah, so the word, you're right, the word immaculate conception is not there. Instead, the word virgin conception is there. So are you okay with that story, the virgin conception?
Yeah, I believe she was a virgin.
Okay, amen. Okay, and she was a virgin. She gave birth to Christ as a virgin, and some people think she remained a virgin after birth. The Catholics, but I say she was only a virgin when she gave birth. But after that, her and Joseph had kids after the birth of Christ. You agree with that?
I agree, and but I don't think we're using the same definition of virgin.
Really? What's your definition?
A young woman of marital age.
Okay. And
I,
what
I,
do you?
I believe that Joseph is Christ's biological father on earth due to the
Biologically?
prophecies that was due to prophecy. Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. What about his actual birth?
What about his actual birth?
Like, for example, because like you said, there's prophecies about the birth of the Messiah that dates back to the Old Testament. I think we can agree to that, correct?
Yes.
Right. So what I mean is, you have some people, like the Jewish people, are still awaiting that prophecy, so they don't believe the birth had taken place yet. Right? You understand that?
Yes. I think they're flawed.
Right. Right. So but you and I, we believe the birth had came and passed, had came and gone. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So when he was born, do you believe Joseph was the father when he was born?
His actual like biological father. Yes.
Really?
Because yes, because he's from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
We don't see Mary's lineage in scripture.
Oh, I do.
Some people say, go ahead.
Yeah, I do. I see it in scripture.
Okay, and where
In Luke chapter 3, verse 23.
there's Mary's lineage.
Yeah,
All right, let me go to it. You said Luke
yeah, Luke chapter 3.
23.
Yeah, 23. Luke chapter 3, verse 23.
Luke chapter 3, verse 23.
Yeah. Are you there?
I'm there. What is this? How do you come to say that this is Mary's lineage?
Yeah. So verse 23, it says, and Jesus himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed the son of Joseph. And then it says Joseph was the son of Eli, right? So this is the Joseph
Yes.
this is the Joseph that's married to Mary. You agree?
Yes.
Right. So now I want you to go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 16. So I'll tell you how I came to that conclusion.
Okay.
You said now here it says and Jacob it says Jacob begot Joseph. So if you look at Luke 3, that's a genealogy, and then you look at Matthew 1, that's a genealogy. But Joseph is said to have two different fathers. So you know that's impossible.
Yes.
That's impossible. You can't have two baby daddies. So one is his lineage, and the other one is not. The other one is giving him, in my mind, a like son-in-law, where he's tied to Heli as a son-in-law, and Heli is actually the father of Mary.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
these genealogies both start with Jesus, but they're different, so they both can't be Jacob's. So if you know every child is supposed to have two parents, right? And
Yes.
right. So if so if one of your parents are listed their genealogy and you have another genealogy, it can only be your other parent. It cannot be your uncle, your grandfather, your cousin, or your you know your babysitter. It will have to be the other parent.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
and, and they both stem from David. So if you go to stay in Matthew, right, and go to verse 6. Let me know when you're at Matthews and you look at verse 6.
So give me a second. You said Matthew.
Right.
Which one?
Verse 6, Matthew
What
1.
chapter?
Same chapter,
Okay.
the genealogy chapter.
Okay. 1 and 6. Okay.
Yeah. And here it says Jesse begot David, and then it says David begot Solomon, right?
Yep.
This is David lineage. Now go back to Luke chapter 3, and I want you to look at verse 31. And let me know when you're at Luke 3:31. Luke 3:31. Let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm here.
here it says, which was the son of Milia, which was the son of Menan, which was the son of Matatha, which was the son of Nathan, which was the son of King David. Because in 32 it says David was the son of Jesse. Obed is all the way back up, same like Matthew. So David had four kids with Bathsheba. So one was Nathan, and the other was David. The other two I forgot the names, but the most notable ones are Nathan and David. So here, this is showing you clearly in 31 that this lineage comes from David to Nathan. So Solomon's not in this one. This is Luke 3:31. And Matthew 1:16, that one is showing the kings. It's showing King David and his son, King Solomon.
Okay.
But both are from David. So if Mary is from this genealogy, which it only be pointing to her, which shows that she's also from David. She's also from David's lineage.
Okay. Can you go to Deuteronomy 25:5 real quick?
Yes, sure. Deuteronomy 25.
25 first line.
That sounds familiar. That sounds like the Levite law. Okay. 25. I'm here. Yes, Levite law. It's 25 and 6. I got you. 25, 5, and 6. I'm here.
Okay. Can you read that?
Yeah. If so, I'll summarize it. So when you have two brothers, and one brother is married, and he dies without leaving kid, uh, by having a son that to keep his name alive, one of his closest relatives has to go into his wife and raise up seed for him, and then that seed is
Yes.
raised, but that seed is raised up for his brother. So that means the brother that goes into the wife, that seed is not his. The seed is his brother's. It's like an adoption. Like he passed it on to
Yes.
him to keep his right.
Yes. The reason I wanted you to make that point was that's how I believe Joseph had two fathers,
Yeah,
like you mentioned earlier.
yeah,
Go
but
ahead. Go ahead.
this is the point of the Leroy law. If that was true, it still would not list. It still wouldn't list the actual guy, like the biological father. So Joseph would still have one. So for example, like if you're my brother and I go into a woman, I'm sorry, I get married,
Mm-hmm.
I don't leave a kid, I die. You're my brother. You go into her.
Mm-hmm.
The first kid, if you read verse 6, it says the first kid is donated to me and my lineage. So that means when you read
Yes.
my, that even though you had sex with her, even though that's your biological kid, I will get credit for that son. So that boy wouldn't have two lineages. He'll just have me. He won't have you. So now, but if you plan to go back into her, every kid after that is yours. So the Levite
Yes.
law, you still will only have one lineage. You wouldn't have two.
But if you read, I forgot which verse it said. It was supposed to be his father. It didn't say that he had two fathers.
No, that suppose was about Jesus because it says Jesus being 30, Jesus' supposed father was Joseph. But for Joseph, it doesn't say supposed. It says Joseph, the son of Eli.
Where is that again?
Luke 3:23.
Luke what?
Luke
Luke
3:20.
3:23.
Yeah, it says Jesus was the supposed son of David. I'm sorry, Joseph. Yeah, Joseph wasn't the supposed son. It was Jesus.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's interesting you brought that up because it was Jesus who was supposedly the son of Joseph. So if you look at it, he's the only son that it says supposedly about. Every other son, it just says the son of. But when it gets to Jesus, it's like this is questionable. Like this sonhood is questionable. He supposed it. People suppose him as a son of Joseph. So it's not really confirmed. It's this is what people think. But the other ones is confirmed. There's no supposed there. So but what else is interesting? If you go back to Matthew chapter 1, if you look at verse 1. So let me know when you go to Matthew's verse 1.
I'm here.
So now, verse 1 it says the book of the generation of Jesus Christ. So we agree that this is Jesus Christ's generation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, if you skip to 17, it talks about other generations. So let me know, skip all the way down to 17.
I'm here.
Okay, read that one. I think it's going to be interesting. So it says, so all the generations from Abraham to David are 14, and from David to
Mm-hmm.
Babylon 14, and from Babylon to Christ are 14. So it's telling you that there's more than just Jesus' generation here. There's generations from Abraham all the way to Jesus, which is 42. So Matthew chapter 1, it covers 42 different generations. And Jesus is one of them. So if you look at verse 1, it's just showing you that Jesus is one of the 42 generations. Okay. So now
Okay.
the first generation listed is verse 2. So when it says Abraham begot Isaac, that's the first generation. Then if you go Isaac begot Jacob, that's 2. If you go Jacob begot Judas, that's 3. And if you do that all the way down to Jesus, it'll be 42. Okay, so there's 42 generations
Okay.
there. All right. Now it says Abraham begot Isaac. So in that language begot, that shows that Abraham is the father of Isaac, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes a generation. So if a person So, for example, back to the Levirate law. If the man take on a wife, and they have no kids, he does not have a generation. He does not have a lineage, a lineage, no lineage. So that's why your brother must go into her and do the duties of a brother and give him a line.
Yep.
So his name's not erased. Okay. So if you look at that, it's important to have a generation. Now, so all you need is a child, just one child. You can have two, three. Most of these parents here got more than one child. But all you need is one
I agree.
child. Yeah, all you need is one child to have a generation. So if you look at all the way down to the bottom, look at verse 16. Let me know when you're there.
I'm here.
Okay. So it says, and Jacob begot Joseph. So Jacob is the father of Joseph. And then it says Joseph is the son of Jacob because he's the one begotten. Then it says Joseph is the husband of Mary. So they're married. But the generation it gives Christ is his mother because it says Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So Jacob is the father of Joseph because the word begot is there. But Joseph is just married, but he has begotten one. But Mary is the person who gave birth to Jesus. So the only generation that we see here for Jesus is Mary. Do you see that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that confirms the virgin birth.
I still disagree because of prophecy, and also in the book of Revelation, Christ himself said he was from the seed of David.
Yeah, but don't you right? So if
How do you get seed? Women don't produce seed.
yes they do.
You think so?
Okay, let me show you. Go to Genesis chapter 24. Okay.
In a second. Genesis chapter 24. Okay. I'm here.
Read verse 60 so everybody can hear you.
You said 6-0?
Verse 6, yeah, 6-0. I'll read it. It says, and they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, they said unto Rebekah, thou art our sister, be thou mother of thousands of millions, and let your seed, Rebekah, possess the gate of those which hate them. So Rebekah has seed.
Okay. All right. You, but is that seed like the one? If you were going in the Greek, if you use the Greek in the New Testament, it says seed is sperm or sperma in both cases.
Yeah,
Is
so
what's go ahead.
yeah, so sperma is just the name of so sperma is a term, but sperma has a
Oh,
definition, and sperma is used three different ways. Like for example, when Christ said you must have the faith of a mustard seed, that word of seed is there. So see, so seed is also used as a literal, like a literal seed. So
yep.
right, so metaphorically, seed, well, literally, seed is a seed of a plant. Okay, but metaphorically,
Hmm.
seed is used as something other than a plant, and most often, seed is used as children of a parent or grandparent. So right here, when it says "let Rebecca's seed possess the gate," that's talking about Rebecca's grandchildren, descendants that come from her womb.
Yep.
Right, right. So seed just means a child or many children to come later. So if that's the case, then women, right? So that means man and woman come together and they produce a seed that sits in a woman's stomach for 9 months, and then the seed is born and it becomes a human being, either a woman or son. I mean, either a daughter or
Yep. Okay.
right. So a women normally don't have seed by themselves. They need a man, and a man can't carry the seed. It's 9 months in a woman's stomach. So the beauty about Jesus is that Mary was the first woman to carry a seed where a man has nothing to do with it. And when you read Jesus' generation, you read that a man is nowhere in his generation as his father. So that just confirms that a man had nothing to do with fathering Jesus biologically.
Okay.
So now, when you said the prophecies, what prophecies are you talking about?
Let's go to Second Samuel, chapter 7.
Right. Give me a second to get there with you. Okay, I'm here.
And I'm getting there. Verse 12, I believe,
Yeah, I'm okay.
around
12.
there.
All right, let me get there. Hold on a second.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, I'm here at verse 12. I'm here. What about it?
All right. Can you read from 12 to 14?
Yeah. It says, "When thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy father, I will set up thy seed after thee," meaning children, "which shall
Yep.
proceed out of your bowels." Okay, so this is God talking to King David. "And I will
Yep.
establish his kingdom. He shall build," so King David's son shall build a house for my name, "and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men." Right, I agree.
Can you keep reading?
"But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. And thine house and thine kingdom will be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever." Amen.
Yeah. So to me, this is the prophecy of Christ.
Say what?
To me, this is the prophecy of Christ.
You don't think it's of Solomon, King Solomon?
No, because Solomon didn't last forever.
No, Solomon didn't last forever, but his kingdom did.
You think? I don't think. I don't really see how his kingdom lasts forever. His kingdom's not here now.
So wait, so what kingdom is Christ going to sit on when he rules?
He's going to still in the millennial reign. When he come back, he's going. Go ahead.
No, I didn't hear you.
When he come back, he's going to be the ruler over all of us.
Right, but who kingdom is he going to sit on? What throne? Because remember that when you read in the New Testament, it says, okay, so look, don't lose this. Put your finger on this and go to Luke chapter 1 real quick. Luke chapter 1. So put your finger on Second Samuel. We'll come back. I want you to put your finger on Luke 1.
Okay, Luke 1 and.
Okay, so this is the prophecy of Christ being born. Look at verse 32. It says that Christ shall be great, and he shall be called the Son of the Highest, and the Lord shall give unto him the throne of his father David. So
Yeah,
Solomon,
to me that matches.
Right. But Solomon sat on that throne. So when the Most High said your throne will last forever, it doesn't mean somebody will be ruling on it until Christ comes, because nobody is ruling on it, but it's still there waiting for the Messiah. So that's
The
why,
Messiah.
right. So, but it's still there. So it still lasted forever. It's still here waiting for the Messiah to get on it. Like nobody else was eligible to sit on the throne, but it never vanished. It never went away. It's just there waiting for a worthy king. And so now,
Is there where? Where is it? Is there?
yeah,
Where is it?
I mean, it's waiting for. I mean, okay. So let's say if you kidnap the American president, right? That doesn't mean the White House.
All praises the Most High.
Right. So that doesn't mean that the presidency thing go away in America. We're just waiting for a new. We're waiting for a new president. But if we're holding off, like let's say America said, listen, we're not going to vote another president until we get Jesus. We're going to vote Jesus in, because all the presidents are wicked. So that doesn't mean that the presidency goes away. It's still there. We just not going to vote nobody until we have a worthy candidate like Jesus. So I want you to do this, just to back up what I'm saying. I want you to go to First Kings chapter 2, and you'll see what I mean. Go to First Kings chapter 2.
All right, I'm here.
Well, oh wait for me. You're fast. Okay. First Kings chapter. Okay, look at verse 45. Let me know when you're there. Verse 45. Matter of fact, 44. Look at 44. Are you
44.
there?
Yeah, I'm scrolling. I'm here now.
Okay, look. The king said, moreover, to Shimei, thou knowest all the wickedness which thine heart is privy to, that thou didst to David my father. So this is King Solomon talk. He said, yet you did to David my father. He said, therefore the Lord shall return thy wickedness upon thy own head. Now verse 45. And King Solomon shall be blessed, and the throne of David shall be established before the Lord forever. So it's supposed to
Okay.
be established. So you asking where it's at? We don't know, but it's supposed to be there forever. So we don't know where it's at, but Christ knows where it's at. And now watch this. It says verse 46. It says, so the king commanded Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, which went out and fell upon him, that he died. And the kingdom was established in the hand of Solomon. So that forever we're just going to go down from king to king to king to king, and then it's going to stop because the kings were unworthy, and it was waiting for the righteous king, which is Jesus. So now, but watch this. Watch this. I want you to go to, so we're in First Kings, bump up to chapter 8. Let me know when you're at chapter 8.
Almost there. More to go. Chapter 8.
Okay, look, can you go to verse 18?
Sure.
So let me know when you're at verse 18.
I'm at 18.
Okay, so this is King Solomon now. So 2 Samuel chapter 7, that was a good one. That was the Lord talking to David about the kingdom and a son coming out of his bowels. Now, King Solomon is going to talk about that very thing. Like he's reminiscing. So verse 18, and the Lord said unto my father David, right? Said unto David, my father.
Yep.
So we know Solomon is talking because he said, my father David. And the Lord said unto David, my father, whereas it was in thine heart to build in the house unto my name, thou didst well that it was in thy heart. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build the house, but thy son shall come forth out of your loins. So his actual son should come out of the loins bowels, and he shall build the house unto me. That's why I said this is talking about King Solomon. I'm not done. It says, and the Lord hath performed his word that he spake. So King Solomon is talking. This is 2,000 years before Christ. He's saying, yes, this already happened. And I am risen up in the room of David, my father, and sit on the throne of Israel as the Lord promised, and have built in the house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. So Solomon is saying, as the Lord promised to my father David, I am that promise. So,
Okay.
right. So now we know he reigned for 40 years. So the promise was never that King Solomon will rule forever. It said the kingdom will be established forever. So it was established through David. Solomon sat on it and other kings sat on it, but it never went anywhere. The kings went somewhere. They all died. But the throne, the kingdom was always there waiting for a righteous king, which is Jesus. So 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12, that prophecy was dealing with Solomon. Now, the person who's gonna actually reign forever is Jesus. And we read that in Luke chapter 1. We just read that. It said that that throne was set up for Jesus to rule forever. But the part about coming out the bowels and all that type of stuff, building the house, that was all Solomon. And Solomon regurgitated it and said, I fulfilled that promise that the Most High promised to my father about myself. So that prophecy is already fulfilled. And Christ is going to fulfill the spiritual part, which is the ruling forever.
Okay.
So that the prophecies are fulfilled. And the thing is that people didn't know, people were awaiting the Messiah, but they didn't know how the Messiah will make his entrance. Everybody was expecting that you can find it with signs and all type of a grand entrance, some comet hit the earth. They didn't expect that the Most High will come to us as a servant, taking on flesh, and through one person, Mary.
Okay. What about Hebrews chapter 2, verse 16 and 17?
Let me look at it. Hebrews chapter 2. Okay. What verses?
16 and 17.
Okay. So it says, for verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Wherefore, in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. Amen. Yeah.
If you made like your brethren are made with a father and a mother.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. I'm sure. They were also. Some of them were tall, some were short, some were fat, some had buck teeth, some had good teeth. So I'm sure they had flaws as well. So Christ don't take on everything that his brethren took on. But let me point something out to you. Um,
I'm listening.
yeah. So now if you go to, let me just, okay, if you just go to verse 14, you'll see what how he's coming. So now you went to 16 and 17, but verse 14 tells you how he's coming like his brothers. So verse 14 says, for as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood. So that's the all things we're talking about. The children are partakers of flesh and blood. He also himself likewise took part of the same. So that means that he took on flesh and blood. So the all things was the flesh and blood. That, and this is why, that through death, because he had to die. You know, Jesus Christ, he's a spirit, he can't die. So he had to take on the weakness of flesh. Flesh is weak. Flesh is going to be tempted. All those things can happen to flesh. That can't happen to a spirit.
I agree.
Right. So he had to come like his brothers, flesh and blood. Not all things, not, you know, because I'm sure some of his brothers were disbelievers. He's not going to be a disbeliever, disobedient. He's not going to be a sinner. He's not going to be an adulterer. Like some of his brothers dealt with those things: adultery, murder, fornication. So all things, that means Christ is a sinner in all ways imaginable. Some of their brothers were homosexuals. Some of their brothers were liars and thieves. You know, so Christ ain't come down like his brother in all
I
ways.
was,
Like,
yeah, I would say though, I would say like being like made, like if like a car. I make a car with these parts. Like I make a
I agree.
man with the like you see. I
Yeah,
wouldn't say that they're gonna be identical. Like
yeah.
with
Right.
this,
Yeah. So
yeah,
verse
not
14, right? So verse 14 tells you exactly how he's gonna be like them. So Christ was not flesh and blood before; he was a spirit in the spiritual world. So he came down, and to help his brothers, he came down as flesh and blood, and that's where verse 16 picks up. It says, "For he took not on the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham." Don't forget, seed means child. So if you're going to be a child of Abraham, you can't be a spirit. So he had to take on flesh, and that goes back to, you know, if you look at John 1 and 1, it says, first was God, then when there was a word, and then the word was with God, then the word was God. And then it says the word was manifest in the flesh. So the emphasis here is that Jesus Christ, for the first time, is taking on the embodiment that Adam took, that Noah took, you know, and that was a humbling thing to do because he's so great and he's so perfect. So now he took on this weak flesh that's so subjected to the world and all the tempting evilness that happens. So that's all it's saying. It's just saying that he took on flesh and now he's subjected to the same thing that his brothers and sisters are subjected to. And
okay.
18 tells you, it says, for in that manner, for in that he himself has suffered being tempted. See, because he can't be tempted in a spiritual form. So he was tempted by taking on flesh, that he is able to secure them that are tempted. So he had to take on flesh to save them from their wicked desires, or the weakness that sin is taking advantage of, sin and death. Because you know, we are afraid of death. So Christ came down to take on flesh to conquer death once and all. Once and all. Because when he died, he resurrected. That means he beat death. So death took their first L. Death took his first L when Christ resurrected. Yeah. So this just show you that Christ just took on flesh and blood like everyone, like everyone, all humans.
Okay. I see your line of reasoning.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I see your line of reasoning. But you know, I'm going by what I perceive prophecy to say. I can study it and try to see it your way. Um, I'm not here to argue or debate.
Oh no, of course
I
not.
was just stating, yeah, yeah.
So now, so now, if you go to, okay, So let's go to First Corinthians 15.
First
Let's talk.
Corinthians 15.
Let's talk about this.
Let me get there, sir.
Where Paul talks about the spiritual body, because everybody wants to know. Because at this point, everybody knew Christ resurrected, and they knew that they had to die and be resurrected as well to meet Christ in the air,
Okay.
to take on their spiritual powers. And now watch this. So First Corinthians chapter 15. When you're at 45, let me know.
I'm at 45.
Okay, watch this. It says, and so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. And if you look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, it literally says, uh, the Most High blew the breath of life into his soul,
Yep.
and he became a
Yep.
living. But the way Jesus born, but the way Jesus is made is not like that. It says the last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Now it's interesting, brother. Greek. If you look in a Greek, the word quickening spirit means this is a whole different spirit than the spirit that mankind that we have to be alive. This is the spirit of the Lord.
Yep.
So this is the actual spirit of the Lord coming on us. And there's a prophecy that was fulfilled in Acts chapter 2, where the Most High said, in the last days, I will pour my spirit upon flesh, right? All flesh. So that means it didn't happen before. It is the last days he was going to do that, and it started with Christ. So also that quickening spirit, if you concordance it, this is also responsible for resurrecting the dead. So this spirit is totally, right. So this spirit is totally different from the spirit that's in mankind that keeps us living. All right. This is the quickening spirit. This is a self-existing spirit, and Christ, and because Christ was born with this, it says that now he has the power to also bring forth life. This is how he was able to get Lazarus out of that grave. Yeah. So even 45, but look at verse 47. It says the first man is of earthy, right? The first man came from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
It said the second man is the Lord from heaven.
Yep.
So right. So Christ came down from heaven into the womb of Mary, out of her belly, taking on flesh and blood to save Israel.
Yep. I agree with that.
Yeah. And when he came down, he didn't come down his own will. The Bible says God sent him. So if God sent him, that means
I'm glad you said that, because you make me a little nervous. I was hoping that you were a Trinitarian.
No.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Right. So the scripture says God sent him down. Right. So that means that Joseph didn't send him. So Joseph don't have a will. So when you and your wife have a baby, that was your will as a human. That wasn't God's will. That was your will, and you willed your son or daughter into existence. Joseph had.
I don't see it that way. I hear what you're saying, but I don't. I hear what you're saying. I'm not arguing. Right. I just don't see it that way. Can I go ahead?
So let me ask you this. So where is the verse that says Joseph gave birth to Jesus?
There is no verse that says that.
Right. But there's a verse that says he didn't.
I don't see where there's a verse that says he didn't.
Okay, so if you go back to Matthew chapter 1.
Okay.
Where it lists the 42 generations. Verse 2, it starts by fathers giving birth to sons. The word begot is fatherhood. If you read all the way down to 16, the word begot is present for every male. Okay, if the word begot is not present, then that male did not have begot children, right? Because begot means you begot children. A child is begotten and a father begets. So 16, this shows you that Joseph did not have a child. It says, and Jacob begot Joseph. It doesn't say Joseph begot somebody.
So you're telling me that Joseph and Mary understood that Christ was not Joseph's biological child?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go to Luke chapter 2 verse 41
Sure.
to 40. I think it's like 45.
Sure. I'll do that for you.
Well, let me get. I'm trying to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. All right. So we're at Luke chapter 2. What verse?
I'm
41?
trying to find it. I think it's 41.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'll wait for you.
Let's see. Let's say 40. If you go for 41, it's say around 50. There's a lot though, but
Okay. So it says, now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem. And Joseph and his mother, okay, so it says Joseph and then his mother, knew not of it. But they don't say Joseph, his father. Okay. So then it says, but they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolk and acquaintances. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temples. This is important where they found him. They found him in a temple, sitting in the midst of doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. Right? Kind of what we're doing now.
yep.
All that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrow. And he said unto them, how is it that you sought me?
Wait, Paul. She said thy father and I. Who was she talking about?
Yeah, so I'll read verse 49.
Was she talking about Joseph?
Yeah, but let me
Okay.
let me help you out. So verse 49, and he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me, wish ye not? So Mary said, I'm your mother, and your father's looking for you. Look at how Jesus responded. He said, oh, mom, I'm sorry, you and dad looking for me. He said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Which ye know not that I must be about my father's business. Okay. So now let me explain what's going on. So in the Bible, if somebody raised you up, whether it's Moses with Pharaoh's daughter, or whether it's Mordecai.
Okay.
Now Mordecai is not Esther's father.
Yeah, I'm sure you would start. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Her cousin.
But, yeah, exactly. Right. But the Bible, the way in those days take it, if you take on a child and raise them up and play the father role, you are listed as their father. So if you go to Esther chapter 9, verse 29, it said.
Wait. Before we go there, but read verse 50 real quick.
Yeah. And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them. Okay.
So, okay, so since you're saying that they had the understanding that Joseph was not his biological father,
right?
When he said this, that should have been clear and cut. They knew that Yahweh had Yahushua go do his work, but they didn't understand. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what happens is you're conflating my answer with another question. So the real question should have been, did Mary know about Jesus' business? So Jesus is upset that when he tarried away from his mother and Joseph, and when he went to talk in the temples, he's saying, this is part of my fulfillment of prophecy. I'm supposed to go teach in these temples, which is known as my father's house. We read that with Solomon. So by the fact that Mary is looking for him, like he's some regular little boy, he's upset. Like, Mom, you don't know what I'm here to do on earth. I'm here to do what my father sent me to do. I'm here to restore Israel. So he's checking her.
Okay.
Right. Because
okay.
Mom got the motherly instincts. So now, what I was saying to you, what I'm going to say in very short, to summarize. in the Bible, the word mother, father, son, and daughter are thrown around loosely. If you're
Very
not
loosely.
right, so if you're not careful, you can believe somebody's a father when they're not. You can believe somebody's a mother when they're not. Prime example. Watch this. Go to Matthew chapter 16. Let me help you out here. See, because when we don't read the entire context of something, we'll throw it away and say, "Hey, I got it." But you have to know context. I'm
I
sorry.
understand content.
Okay, so go to not you. I'm talking about everybody else that's listening. So go to Matthew chapter 19. That's where I want you to go. Matthew
19.
Now this is gonna mess your head up.
I'm here.
Okay, brother. Look at verse 16. Wait a minute. Wait. I think I'm. Oh, I'm sorry. I said Matthew. I'm sorry. You about to be mad at me. I'm in the wrong
No,
Bible.
I'm not upset with you, bro.
I'm in the wrong book. Go to John. Go to John 19. I'm sorry. The coffee is wired today. The coffee is wired. It got me.
I understand.
My fault. Go
John
to
19, what verse?
John 19 and look at. Let me make sure. Oh, 26.
Okay.
Okay, now this gonna blow your head. When Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple, right? So right now, isn't Jesus looking at his disciple and mother?
Yep.
Okay, standing by, whom he loved. He said unto his mother, "Woman, behold your son." He's talking about the disciple. He said, "Woman, behold your son, the disciple." Then he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." And from that hour, that disciple took her to his own home. So according to you, because it say mother and father, it must be biological. So now his disciple.
No. I'm not according to me, and I understand that because
Okay.
I am your brother. You know what I'm saying? I am your brother according to Scripture. I have never met you a day in my life, but I am your brother.
I got you.
So I do understand how those terms are used. Like your wife is your sister because she's your sister, but now she's your wife. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand all that, but I was just making the point that they didn't understand what he was saying at that time.
No. See, you're conflating it. When he said, so you're conflating what they're misunderstanding. Mary was confused when he said, he said, "Woman, don't you know I'm about my father's business?" She was confused about that saying. She wasn't sure of his purpose on earth. Okay.
I'm not adding to the text. I'm not saying you're adding to the text. I'm not adding to the text. I'm just reading the Bible for what it says.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not trying to add. Yeah, I'm not trying to add anything to the text.
Of course.
Yeah.
But this is why I say you got to read the Bible in context. So once she said, "Me and your father looking for you," because we know the word father and mother thrown around loosely. Then he corrected her. He said, "Woman, don't you know I'm about my father's business?" And Mary did not know what he was talking about. Okay.
Nor did Joseph. It said they.
We didn't read Joseph. We read Mary. But
it said, but Mary and Joseph were there talking to him.
Right, I got you. But it has to say, right, remember we can't add. We only could read what's in front of us. It said Mary.
Okay.
It said Mary. And let me go to it again. Let me go to it. It says, no, you're right. It's both of them. But this is not the first. But this is not the first time they were confused. Watch this. Let's go. This is why I say you.
No, I do those confused several times. I was just bringing out that one point. Again, I'm not trying to convince you to see it my way or anything.
No. I got you. I'm trying to add understanding, because what happens is if you don't know the full see, Mary and Joseph were not aware of everything that was concerning Jesus. They was only aware of what. Right. So. Right. So when the angel came to Mary, it said that your son shall reign, sit on the throne of David, and he shall reign in Jacob's place forever. Reign to Jacob's children forever. That's what Mary was told. But Mary was not told her son would save people from their sins. That's what Joseph was told. And Joseph was not told that Jesus would sit on the throne of David. So both parents only know what they're told. So the angel came to Mary. The angel came to Joseph in secrecy and said to him, "Your son is going." Well, not he didn't say your son, but he said Joseph, Jesus, the baby that's in Mary's belly, that baby is going to save his people from the sins. So Joseph got that memo. Mary didn't get that memo. So what I'm pointing out is that both parents did not know everything concerned with Jesus. So now watch this. Now watch this. I'm gonna show something to you. Go back to Luke 1. I mean, go back to Luke 2. Go back to Luke 2. Okay, watch this. Let me know when you're at 25.
All right.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. It says, and behold, there was a man in Jerusalem who was sick, and the same man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel. And the Holy Ghost was upon him. See? The Holy Ghost was upon him. And it was revealed unto him by the Holy Ghost that he should not see death before he had seen the Lord's Christ. So he's privy to who Jesus is. And it said, and he came by the Spirit into the temple. And when the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him after the custom of the law, then took he up in his arms, is Simeon, and blessed God and said, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace, according to the word. For my eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people. Now look. Now look what he's gonna say. This revelation wasn't given to Mary or Joseph. Now 32 says he's gonna be a light to lighten the Gentiles. So this is another revelation. And the glory of thy people Israel. Look at verse 33. And Joseph and his mother marveled at those sayings, which were spoken of.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm familiar with them. Yep.
I got you. So now, I think, so there was one more instance here, but I'll leave it at that. So their parents didn't know everything that would befall Jesus. They only know what they know and what was revealed to them. Nowhere it says Mary and Joseph know everything about Jesus Christ's ministry. They don't know. So
yeah, I agree.
Right. So now, which one holds more weight? Mary saying, "Hey, me and your father looking for you," and we know father can be thrown loosely, or we looking at the generation of Jesus Christ, the generation where every parent got to be listed here, definitely the fathers. Okay, and every father was listed. Matthew 1, we're looking at, so right now in verse 48, this is Mary saying, "Hey, me and your father looking for you." And I showed that the disciple's name, his mother was Mary. So Mary is not just the mother of Jesus, she's the mother of the disciple. So we know this mother and father term is thrown around loosely, like you said, sister, brother, those type of things, brother-in-law, father-in-law, thrown around. But what's not thrown around is your generation. Only fathers and sons will be listed there. Okay, so in the generation of Jesus, this is where Joseph has to be listed. Everywhere else is irrelevant. He has to be listed in the generation of Jesus Christ. If he's not listed there, then he's not listed there as a father. He got to be here. Every other father was present. Okay. Just like going to like a parent back to day school, right? A parent meeting. You know, the parents that show up is the parents that show up. If you start seeing no fathers, that's for a reason.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What tribe was Christ from?
From Judah.
Okay, without a father, how was he from Judah?
Say that again?
Without a father, because I'm still not saying that. I see how you say that's Mary's lineage. I don't get that same understanding. Yeah. But without, and Miriam is a Levitical name, and we are shown in the scriptures that she's related to two relatives.
Right.
Elizabeth and Zacharias. Those are her relatives. And she has a Levitical name, not saying that she's a Levite.
Yeah.
Because I never see her lineage in scripture. I understand how you come to your conclusion.
Yeah, of course.
And I can study it. And I can study it. And
it has to be her.
We can build. But as he's from the tribe of Judah, and when there was no father, when you say that the Most High is also from the tribe of Judah?
No,
I don't.
no, yeah, yeah. See, you will only come to that conclusion if your mind's already made up. So now let me address the Miriam name, brother. If you go back to Matthew chapter 1, verse 10, you see the name Eleazar there. Eleazar, that's a Levite name too. But this is the
It
tribe of
is.
Judah, right? But this is the tribe of Judah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I don't. That's why I say I'm not arguing the
but I
point
just want to,
because you have a little
I
bit.
just want to clear it
Yeah,
up for I
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
But I just want to
Go
address
ahead.
that for the people listening that might not know, because the way you left,
Okay.
it could almost assume that if you got a Levite name, you're Levite. You got a Judah name, you're Judah.
No. I thought I cleared it up. I said just because she had a Levitical name does not mean she's a Levite. I thought I cleared it up. If
Yeah,
I didn't, I
but the fact,
apologize.
yeah, but if you watch like trials, like the YSL trial, like if you did that as a cross-examining lawyer, the other side would object and they'll say relevance because they know that can steer the jury to believe that Mary's a Levite.
Oh,
Like they know that
okay, yeah. Again, I want to use that as a point.
because
And I also said I'll study it again. So it's nothing. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
right.
I have not yet said you was wrong. I would say that we have two different understandings. That's it.
So now let me
Go ahead.
address your Judah thing. Okay. So you're under the impression that if Mary was the only parent, and even though, like, let's say hypothetically she's a Judite, you're under the impression that she's the only parent, then Jesus Christ can't be a Judite because of her only, right?
No, well, no, because again, you got to come from the same tribe. Like if I'm a Judite,
Right.
my son would be a Judite. No matter if even if I lay with a heathen, my son or my daughter would take on my tribe, regardless of because you're your father's lineage.
Yeah, but if you don't have a father, you only got a mother. Aren't you still of your mother?
I don't disagree.
Right. So he's a Judite through his mother.
I still don't see it.
Okay. So that's why it's important to know. All right. So let me do this. How does one become a Jew?
A Jew,
Yeah.
like the nation of Judah, or like in the nation of Israel, or like a Jew. I don't understand your question.
Okay. So are you familiar with the
A
word
Jew,
Are you familiar with the word Jew in the Bible?
yes, nation, the three is Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. Yeah, they call them Jews.
So when it says Christ is the King of Jews, what does that mean to you?
I think they were slandering him, but they said the
No.
king of the nation
He
of
said
Judah.
himself.
Go ahead.
No, he's okay. Remember, he says to Jacob as well. He says salvation is of the Jews. Are you telling me salvation is just the three tribes and not the rest of them?
No, I don't believe that. No, I do not believe that.
So when Christ say Jews, what is that?
I was thinking he was talking about the northern kingdom mostly was gone. So I'm calling that he's talking about the southern kingdom.
So when
he hung around mostly the southern kingdom. A lot of northern kingdom. Go ahead.
Now I want you to understand the question. So do you believe that he came to save only the southern kingdom from their sins, and he left
No,
the northern kingdom?
no, I do not believe that. I do not believe that.
So do you believe he came for salvation of all of Israel?
Yes.
Okay. So when he tells the woman at Jacob's well, the Samaritan woman, when he say salvation is of their Jews, who is salvation of when he say Jews at that point?
At that point, he was talking about the nation of Israel.
So
that's my understanding.
At that point, he's cutting off one of the some tribe. At that point,
no, I said the nation, the nation of Israel. I said the nation of Israel. I didn't say cut, but you're talking about like the way people speak nowadays in modern terms.
No.
Back then,
you actually answered it correctly. No, you actually answered it correctly because that's what I was getting to. So when he say Jew, he's talking about the nation of Israel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when Christ is called a Jew, is he taking on all the nations, or at that point he's just Judah?
I think when he's called a Jew, um, he's talking about all the nations,
Right.
not just Judah. But my only my other thing is during that time, all they had to, not all they had, but it was mostly the southern kingdom. And the northern kingdom, they were cut off for a point. We were separated as a nation.
Yeah, but didn't he command his disciples to go to all of the lost sheep of the house of Israel?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that.
Right. Now, because you keep implying that he was only coming for a section of Israel or a certain tribe. So that's why I keep trying.
I don't see how you can't get that understanding based on the words I spoke. I was not saying that. If you got that understanding, I apologize. That was not the understanding in which I was coming from.
All right, so
that's not my angle.
Let's back up to go forward. Okay, so just to be clear, so I can catch where you're going. So when he's at Jacob's well and he says salvation of the Jews, you agree with me that that's all of Israel?
Yes.
Okay, and then when he told his disciples to go to the lost house sheep of Israel, that's also to all of Israel.
Yes.
So when he say he is a Jew, what is he saying? When he say I am a Jew, what is he saying?
I'm saying that he's a Jew.
Yeah. Which tribe?
And it can be both ways. It could be because it could be both ways. It could be I'm a Jew, because he's Southern Kingdom, right? Because again, Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom split, and the people of Rome called them all Jews. They didn't say like Paul, when he said he was a Jew, he also said that he was a Benjamite. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't. I'm not trying to make the distinction, and everybody didn't always make the distinction. When they said there was a Jew, they were saying I'm an Israelite. That's basically what they meant when they said I was a Jew at that time period, based on what I read in Scripture. You see my point?
That's what I'm getting to. I'm getting to.
Yeah. I'm saying we agree. I agree with what you're saying. It's not, you don't have to prove it to me. I agree with everything you're saying, sir.
So I want you to follow me. So I agree with you. When the word Jew is thrown around, it's basically covering all of Israel.
Yeah.
So when Christ says he's a Jew, isn't he claiming all of Israel?
Again, I don't know because he didn't specify. I can't say that he was claiming all of Israel when he said he was a Jew, because he could have been saying I'm part of the Southern Kingdom. He could have been saying that I am a Judite, or he could have been saying what you said just now. I don't know.
Okay, good.
I don't know. It don't specify, but it can mean all three things. And I'm not going to argue the point. To me, that's not worth arguing over.
Right.
I agree with everything you said. Go ahead.
I agree. So when the prophecy said spring out the tribe of Judah, okay, that's because prophecies are not always exact. Event for event. Some things are there, some things are not there. So when it says he's going to spring out of the tribe of Judah, and he's called only a Jew, he never says, "Hey, I represent Judah." He says, "I represent Jews." So I take that to be that he's representing all of the tribes, not just Judah. And let me give you a case in point. Can you go to the book of Esther, please?
I can give me a second.
Yeah. So you can kind of get a better glimpse where I'm coming from, right? Because the thing is, when we see prophecies fulfilled in the Old Testament, none of them are word for word or exactly, event for event. There's always a twist, modification to it, right? So
all partial, because Daniel, I give you part of the story, and somebody else give you another part. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Right. So from my perspective, my research, when it said the tribe of Judah, that's not exclusively just from the tribe of Judah. So that's why he's known as the Jew and not the Judah or the Judites. He's known as the Jew.
Yeah.
So that would be a partial fulfillment too. So he fulfilled some of the word Judah, but Jew and not the duh. Okay, so let me know when you're at the book of, I think, Esther.
I mean, Esther, I'm not, you didn't tell me what book, verse.
Oh, chapter 8.
Chapter and verse.
Chapter 8.
Okay.
So do you believe, okay, so you said this. So we agree. You believe that Jew can possibly, not, because like you said, it could mean other things as well. But you agree that Jew won't go outside of the nations of Israel, right? It won't extend to strangers and heathens.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you at Esther chapter 8?
Yes.
Can you read verse 17? Let me know. Okay. So brother, how is it possible that these Gentiles became Jews?
They just took on our customs, just like in the Maccabees.
Okay, so I
In
just
the same way a Jew can be, it just wait, hold on. But you're still a Gentile. Just because you take on our customs, it's like Paul was a Roman. I'm an American.
No.
Go ahead.
It says a Roman citizen. It didn't say his nation was. This right here does not say, look, so I'll start at verse 16. Remember, like you said to me in Luke 2, we're just reading the Bible. We're not adding. So let's just read it without adding.
Yep.
It says, the Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor. And in every province, because these Jews were amongst Gentiles. Because remember, Esther married the king, who was a Gentile, and he was trying to kill Mordecai. Well, one of his right-hand men was trying to kill Mordecai.
Yeah.
But okay, cool.
Yeah.
So these are all Gentiles. It says, and in every province, that means all the land of Gentiles, and every city of the Gentiles, whithersoever the king's commandment, because he only commanded his own people, and his own decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness because they finally stopped persecuting them. He says, and a feast and a good day. It says, and many of the people, these are the Gentiles, it said they became Jews. It don't say Jewish citizens because no such thing as that. It says, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. So if we're just reading the Bible, we're just reading the Bible without adding to it. Because you said don't add to Luke 2.
I'm not adding anything. Yep, I agree.
So the people, because that's why I wanted to clarify, what is a Jew? And you gave some different scenarios. But you didn't add this scenario. You didn't add that Jews also extend to the heathens, to the Gentiles.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you forgot or you might left that out on purpose. I don't know. But Jews doesn't just conclude that, just doesn't include the Israelites is only. It also is.
Yeah, but we were talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, and you were trying to establish that Christ could have been talking about he was just an Israelite, not a nation. That's why I left that out.
Okay.
I'm not ignorant to this. I'm not ignorant to this.
Okay. So
just like I said, they did the same thing to them Maccabees, all, and then we all converted to other things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't read they converted. I don't read they converted to Judaism or to Israelitism. I don't read that. I read.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't either. I'll read exactly what it says.
All right. So look. Let me give you an example. Watch this. Let me see if I got another passage for you. I got a preset for this. Okay. Remember Genesis 2:7? It says, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. It don't say that he adopted the living soul doctrine and he converted. It says man became a living soul. So he's one and the same as the living soul. So when it says
Yeah.
that these people became Jews, that's one and the same. When you become something, that's who you are. It's not something you convert to. That's who you are.
Okay.
Yeah. So the nationality thing.
Brother, I didn't disagree with you. You don't have to keep making the
Oh
point. You
yeah,
ain't got to double down on the point.
just
Yeah,
making.
I'm not disagreeing with
I got
you.
you.
Go ahead.
I got you. Yeah, no, I would just kind of drive home the point that nationality can just poof change like that. You could be a Gentile 20 years of your life, and then poof, you're included in the nation of Israel by just accepting the Lord.
I disagree with you on that one.
You didn't just read it. The Gentiles became Jews, like Adam became a living soul.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that other nations. I don't think salvation is for the other nations.
You just read it. The other nations became
I
Jews.
don't think salvation. I don't think salvation is for the other nations.
Okay, all right, no problem. So I ended on. I'll leave it at this. Jesus told the Samaritans that you don't know what you worship. We know what we worship. So he was making a distinction. He was saying, he said the hour would come where the true worshipers. So he was saying the people who worship God in truth,
Yep.
salvation are for those Jews. Okay. So these people in Esther chapter 8, they were worshiping in truth. And as a result, they became Jews. So that salvation Christ talked about in John 4 is also extended to these Gentile Jews here because they're Jews now. Salvation is of
Okay.
the Jews. So how are they excluded if they're
Okay.
Jews?
We're gonna agree to disagree on that one.
Okay, no problem. So I want to wrap up with this. So just to leave it at this, and I'm gonna end the call. So we've been on here for a couple hours, but when we read in Matthew 1, that's a genealogy, and in the
Yep.
genealogy, the fathers they must be there, like that's part of Israel law, and that's part of most law back in those times. The father must be there. Okay,
Yep. I don't disagree.
if the father's not there, he's not the father. You know, so you don't have you don't have Ishmael as the father of Judah. Okay, you don't have Ishmael as the father of Jacob because he's not the father. Their fathers were listed. So when it comes back to Jesus, you don't have the father of Joseph listed because he's not the father, but it lists his mother. And I'll leave you with this. If you go to John 3:16, it says God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So the
Yep.
Father, the Heavenly Father, is the only person to begot Jesus. No man has begot Jesus. No man can lay that claim.
Okay.
Yes, I'll leave it there. I appreciate you. I want to get off this. We've been here for years. I hope if you got any more questions, you could say it real quick. If not, I'll end it in love and peace. You got anything else you want to leave? Any last words or a question? Anything you want to leave with? Close out.
No, not really, but I do like the conversation that we had today. I like the bill. I like I like the way you explain things, even though again, I'm not here to try to convince you of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way
yeah,
I
of
see
course,
it,
of course.
and and but I do understand how you got come to your conclusion, and I
Right.
can look into it some more, and I would like to build and speak to you again one day.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not with the Trinity doctrine. But
Yeah, I'm glad you said you was. Yeah,
but there's a
you cleared it up. It would sound kind of weird at first, but then you clarified that rapidly.
yeah,
That's why I said I'm glad. Yeah,
but there's a
yeah.
brother who normally joins us. He's probably busy tonight, so maybe tomorrow sometime. But if you would like to talk about that, because he's a guy.
Oh no, oh no, no. Wait, if he believes in the Trinity?
Yeah, and he claimed he got scriptures to prove it.
I Sure, I'll listen to him.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, because I was when he got done, I was kind of confused, but maybe you can have a better understanding what he's saying. So, all right, so if I'll make sure,
Most time I understand. Most time I seek understanding of what people saying. I don't seek to persuade anybody
right?
on my understanding necessarily.
I
You,
can
you
tell
know what
that's
I'm
right.
saying?
That's
Unless it's a salvific issue. If it's a salvific issue, I try my best to get you know what I'm saying, get through to
right,
them.
right. I
If it's
agree.
not a salvific issue, I'm not going to try to beat it to your head.
Right, because it's not that deep. I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like
It's
the
like people like Ruth the Moabite. People say that she's an Israelite. I
yeah,
said, okay, if you say so, I'm cool with your
right,
understanding.
right.
There's not a salvific issue. You're not, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
oh
Your
yeah,
understanding is your
I
understanding.
agree.
Because
I
they'll say that, no, she had to be Israelite because she's in Christ's lineage. No, she did not have to be an Israelite because she's in Christ's lineage.
right.
You know,
She's not, right. She's listed in the lineage, but she's not a part of the lineage.
yeah, like,
Right, right.
I'm like, you
Yeah,
know, I'm okay with that. But if
yeah,
it's a salvific issue, that's when I would try to get it through their head that, because I don't want nobody to go down the wrong
right.
hole and end up in the lake of fire. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree 100% because it'll be on you, sort of. All right. So tomorrow, I don't know what we actually gonna talk about at the end, like final decision, but I will make sure you at least get a idea what we're gonna talk about, and you have the you know opportunity to say yay or nay, and I'll keep you updated on different topics because we talk about almost everything in the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, the pleasure. I'm gonna get off here. We've been on here for 3 hours. I'm getting off, and brother, oh Shabbat Shalom. I bid you a great day, and everybody.
Again, what's your name, brother? I,
My name,
I forgot.
brother Swaz.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's your name?
It was nice to meet you. Solomon.
Solomon. Okay, great, right. I remember. All right,
Solomon.
nice meeting you. I'm gonna close out. Everybody, have a great day, and till next time, Lord's will, man. Shabbat shalom.
Wrong.
All right. Yeah, so that was my first time. Wait, hold on 1 second. All right, so I actually freestyled the Jew thing because I thought about it. I said, you know what? They keep bringing up he come out the tribe of Judah, but really he's known as the Jew. He's not known as the Judite. So I'm like, and I know prophecies are never like Old Testament fulfilled, New Testament are never word like event for event. So and then he said it's a partial fulfillment. I'm like, well, if that's true, then Jew is a partial name of Judah. And Christ says that he's a Jew. He's known as the King of Jews. And matter of fact, let me take you out of Matthew chapter 2. Okay, look at this. Yeah, I ain't never really. I tell you, that's why today, Okay. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, Jew, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? Yeah, so I think we're kind of focused on Judah too much when the focus is really, is he a Jew or not? That's why you see he got confused when I said, bro, what does Jew mean? And then I knew he would say Southern Kingdom. Then I said, okay, when John 4 at Jacob's well, when he says salvation is for the Jews, is he eliminating the Northern Kingdom? Oh, no. So when he says Jews, then are we talking about all of Israel? Yeah. Okay. So when he talks about the lost sheep of the house of Israel, isn't it all Jews or all Israelites? Yeah. So then he finally agreed that Jews, the word Jew could be interchangeable with Israelite. With Paul. Paul's a Benjamite, but he's a Jew. Okay. All right. So we're getting somewhere. So he's known as Jesus is known as a Jew. He's the King of Jews, and he's bringing salvation for Jewish people. So that's it right there. Like that's the prophecy. He is going to be a Jew representing all of the Israelites, but Jew is part of Judah, so he still fulfills that too, the leading tribe, and this is how he's also able to be a priest, because he's all of Israel. So let me see what you guys think. You think I'm tripping? Am I onto something? Where I'm at? Now the vocab thing is supposed to be 9:15. So let me make sure. Let me ask right now. Because Demetrius is the one I'm not the one communicating back and forth vocab. This is True Meach. It's Minister Meach. He's the one in contact with vocab. So I got to ask him for the update because I'm not being updated. So if it's not tonight, then I'm assuming it's just not gonna be no night. So I don't know because he's not updating me on what's going on. It's supposed to be 9:15. That's what 45 minutes from now. So you would think Meach would reach back to give me an update. Like, all right, man, get ready. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. So I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure. Okay, so hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't mean to click that. Okay, I got that. Yeah, so the brother was cool. Brother wasn't bad. But if it's still on, I'm not, that don't mean I can't go live until it pops off. You dig? I'm still gonna be active. I'm still gonna be sharpen up my sword. You know, still gotta do what I gotta do. Which is heal the sick. I still gotta heal the sick. Let me do this. Yeah, but as you can see, like a lot of these guys, like they're just not like they don't read, man. They really don't read. They just study precepts of another man, understanding, and the man they study from is a high school dropout. Let me see. I think that's now. Okay, so it's supposed to be still going down. It's 9:45 my time, so I might get another debate in there. Sheesh, 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 sheesh. Yeah, so he said 9:45. Yeah, I've been doing this clip thing, and Mimi created an animal now. That's all I've been doing is this clip thing. Clipping, 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 clipping things. Clipping videos, clipping, getting ready, getting ready. Yeah, so that brings me to it's a lot of these Israelites, and they're trying to be slick. They're trying to, they roasting Puff Daddy for they roasting Puff Daddy for and Cassidy settling the case with Cassidy. He's being roasted right now. Let me do this.
When you come to serve the Lord, it ain't gonna be a golden yellow brick. Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Yair Radah coming at y'all with another video through the Spirit. First and foremost, want to give a
Israel. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see if I can sneak one more. I can sneak in one more. So bam, bam, bam. We got him, coach. Yeah, so we got one more guys. Um, so he texted me. These some scary guys. Like these aren't guys that's like, yeah, let's get it. Like, man, you gotta make them feel bad. You gotta make these guys feel bad to talk. Like you gotta make them feel like they're less than. Like, dude, you know, a man like you, right? But like that just lets you know that these brothers are they're writing down these precepts that they call them these lessons, this man-made doctrine. But you could tell like they really either don't understand what they're writing down or they don't believe what they're writing down. Like it's hard for them. Can you see how you press me? He's pressing me. What about this? Like, dude, when you wrote down this Sakari doctrine, did you press them? Because this stuff is garbage. Ain't that weird? Like, they will press the hell out of me. But Sakari, they get a pass.
Part two, baby.
Okay, so hold on. Oh, okay. So I know what I was doing. I was making these clips. Like this guy debated. Now this is a true meets debate. I'm trying to clip this guy, but he is so all over the place. Like he'll start saying something garbage, like foolish. Start saying something foolish, and I go to clip it. Then he'll say something like in the midst of that, he'll say something totally like away from what they're talking about. So it makes the clip crazy because not like one complete thought. It's a thought, and then two, three more thoughts are added in there. Then it's back to the original thought. Like, damn, dude, like, yeah, you're good. Nobody can clip you. The garbage stuff, like, I got it. Like, I can't clip it. I gotta do it the other way. I gotta download it, edit it out the in between, and keep the argument.
When we look at Matthew, Matthew is a Levite. Are you familiar with that fact?
That Matthew's a Levite,
Matthew, the author of
the
he's
author.
from the tribe of Levi.
He was a tax collector.
Yeah, yes, but
his name's just Levi. It does. I mean, I guess I haven't seen his lineage traced back. I just see his name's also called Levi.
He's a Levite, right? So
Matthew, he's just a Levite. Wow. He's a Levite. He just a Levite. Because we see if that's true, then we see this. Let's go back to Luke's genealogy. Matter of fact, let me just do this. See, this is Luke's genealogy. That's coming from David, right? So if Matthew is a Levite because his name is Levi, so this guy's name is Levi, and he's the son of. So is this Matthew? Because he's the son of Levi. So just because your name, that's what I try to explain to the brother. Just because your name is Levi doesn't mean you're a Levite or a Judah. He tried the Miriam thing, like, oh, that's not gonna work with me, my boy. All right. So let me see what's going on. Do I have another? And believe me, it's very draining talking. That guy wasn't so bad. Okay. Okay. So his new brother said he accept the Brit Kadasha. I never heard that. Just not the Pauline doctrine. So I guess he accept. He accepts the Brit. Yeah, these guys. I mean, is it that hard to accept the virgin birth? They just make up, like they just go to man-made. Just look at this. Okay, so let me do this. So True Me says 9:45 my time. Dang boy, it's 8. When were you gonna tell me? All right. So what the hell is this? The Brit Kadasha. What is this? The title itself tells true Jewish people what it's about. If you know Hebrew, that is the literal meaning of the Brit Kadasha is a new covenant by blood, aka Jesus' blood. My heart is for. First Jew. Oh, that's a new something. Oh boy. So this guy's supposed to be this. Is there a wiki for this? There ain't even a wiki for this. This oh. There a wiki for this?
بريد حداشا. بريد حداشا.
Christians believe that the promised new covenant was instituted in the Last Supper as part of their. Oh gosh! Should I invite this guy on? Okay. Well, it's something. Okay, so I'm guessing that he. This guy gonna be a headache. No, where is this hunger coming? I ate something earlier, and it's like I never ate. Let me get back to this guy. Let me cut something out.
So Matthew is giving us a lineage, right? Because lineages are very important in the realm of being an Israelite. Would you agree that Jesus Christ is an Israelite?
Yeah.
Would you agree that Jesus Christ was made of a woman made under the law?
Yeah. What does that mean, though?
Okay, so under the law, right? Your lineage, your pedigree is determined by the seed of your father.
He just made the law. So now Trumee's got to educate him what the law is.
In what sense, though? Because that's Matthew 5:17, and then right after that, yeah.
Okay, so the genitive case refers to the case. When we look at Marias is Eganethan down. Joseph is nobody.
So I have a question: is Eganethe used in the rest of Matthew 1 for any men begetting children?
Hold on. In context of Matthew 1, and right, and you're somehow telling me that I should ignore important.
Eganethe used
is nobody.
All right, so let me. You see, I'm up here trying to document what he's saying. You see, I keep putting dashes and stopping, and this is. I hope y'all, whoever's watching, Mimi, you're here. Look, I'm trying to timestamp his stuff so I can clip it. So this is the starting point, 13:44, right? 13 minutes 44 seconds, and there's a dash because I want to put a stopping point. Look, Mimi, I put nothing there because he went off topic. So here, he actually stopped here. I just didn't put it there, but right here, I kept. Look at this one. He'll say something. I'm like, okay, good. I'm gonna clip it. Then he'll be off, and then he'll come back. I'm like, yo, I can't clip his stuff because he don't stay on topic. So a clip is supposed to be something short to the point where I can document and say, hey, he said this. But if he's saying a whole bunch of other stuff, that's gonna be a bad clip. Because the person listening to the clip will be like, okay, where are you going with this? Because it ain't straightforward. So hopefully this is straightforward.
So I have a question: is Eganethe used in the rest of Matthew 1?
Okay, so the guy, the bearer, whatever it is, the new Christian, it seems like he's against the virgin birth, so I might be able to get him one here. The vocab showdown. I gotta eat something. So this new Christian, he might be even easier because now we know he ain't gonna run to Hebrews 7. Now he got to deal with the gospel. This is gonna be beautiful.
One for any men begetting children.
No. However, that's irrelevant, and I'm gonna show you why that's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant.
Jacob Eganethan down Joseph, right? Down Andra Maria Eganethan, that's irrelevant, and I'm gonna show you why that's irrelevant again.
All right, so now I gotta see. I don't see. Look, you see, he asked a question. He starts to answer, and now he's going somewhere totally different. And he's gonna be wrong here. So now I'm gonna clip this.
Jacob Eganethan down Joseph, right? Down Andra Marias. right? When we look at Marias, Marias is in the genitive case. When we look at Marias, Marias is in the genitive case, right? The genitive case refers to the case used for a noun or pronoun. Would you agree that Marias is a noun?
Okay, so let me turn it down. My son sleep early. Hope he stays asleep so I has energy. Okay, here we go. Not energy, but I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So the genitive case refers to the case.
Wake it up and give some nudge.
Case used for a noun, Marias is a noun, to show ownership. Who has ownership of Marias in this sentence?
The man, the Andras.
Joe in this sentence.
Finally. Who has ownership of Maria? That is just so retarded. Finally got it. Damn. Where's the clip button? Oh, damn. Wait, is this coffee really making me delusional? Where is the clip? Is it here? Hold on. I was clipped and I was. Where's this clip button?
Would you agree that Marias is a noun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Where is this clip button? I don't see it. I don't see the clip button. It's not here. 19. Let me try it here. I don't know. I don't see the clip button. I guess that's the best I can do. Ain't that wild? He doesn't have a clip button. There's no clip button for this video. Why can't I clip this one? Mimi, I need help. Mimi. You see it. There's no clip button. This guy took the clip button off. That's wild. Let me see something. I am starving.
In Jacob Eganethan down Yosef, right?
At least it
Down Andra Marias.
Okay, you see that? It won't let me clip it, but it'll let me start at a certain point. That is wild. Let me see if it makes a difference in Safari. Ain't that wild? Mimi. Yeah, I guess I gotta look back. Wow. All right, so let me just try in Safari. The whole time I was clicking from Chrome. Yeah, yeah. There's no clip. Okay, so I guess the way he got it, you could only start from a certain spot in the video, but it's not going to stop automatically like the other clips. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild, yeah.
So the genitive case refers to the case used for a noun. Marius is a noun. Ownership of Joseph. So Joseph has possession of Mary, correct? That means that Joseph is the subject and Mary is the object of Mary.
Right.
Okay, so if Joseph has possession of Mary, okay, so if Joseph has possession,
right.
Okay, so we got 2023. So this is, yo, that is wow. I can't even clip it. Let me see. I got something on YouTube. Gotta be something. Oh, he woke up. He woke up. There you come. Damn it. My interview was. All right, I got him with me. Got him with me. I got to figure out this clip stuff. Why you can't clip some things? Let's see.
But it's still something new on YouTube, so we gotta cover it. The first time I ever saw this video was actually on PewDiePie's wedding video. Now this is really weird because I've never seen this clip feature on a video that short before. So I believe YouTube handpicks what channels will get clip features on normal videos. But in regards of past live streams, almost every single past live stream that is shorter than 8 hours will get a little clip feature, so you guys can make a little video clip and then it gets saved to your channel. This is the best example we have right here because it's PewDiePie. So if you go to clip right here, it gives you an option to clip the video. What do you know? So it could be a minimum of 5 seconds or a maximum of 60 seconds long. you're able to make a little title and then share it. After you share it, you get this little tab where you can copy and paste it to whoever you so desire. After you do that, if you go to your YouTube channel, you'll notice something right here, and it's your clip.
So I wonder if, yes, I can clip his. Look, Mimi, the clip feature, the clip. I can't even talk. Clip feature is here. He's up. So okay, I don't expect to share my camera now.
Okay, so if Joseph has correct? Right. Okay.
That's wow, yeah. I gotta do it like this, where it doesn't stop it. That is wow. That is Deontay Wild.
So if Joseph has possession of Mary,
That's gonna be whack. Now I gotta manually stop it. Yeah, well, I was on a roll. Well, most of the videos I came across, I was able to. I could have sworn I was clipping this. Well, this shows you I never got a chance to clip it. That's wild because I was trying to clip it, but I never had a chance to, and now I can't. That's wild.
so if Joseph has possession of Mary, that means that Joseph is the subject and Mary is the object. Mary cannot be the person or the one who's doing.
Oh yeah, he's gonna ruin my. I see it now. Right. Let me stop on the couch. Yeah, he's already acting up. Hopefully go to sleep. Go ahead. Go ahead, lay down. You go. Go ahead, lay down. Sweet. Go ahead. Welcome. All right. Give me a second. I think I know what he wants. Give me a second. Hopefully this works. I'm gonna lay down with him, so hopefully I don't fall asleep. Mouse. Mouse. He's playing with it. I didn't realize he just sent my crack. He's using mouse. I can't play a video.
Right?
Okay.
Janeo or Eganethan, right?
How
So I
is
look
Mary the object?
it's
What
right
verb
here.
connects? But no. What verb connects Mary as the object? Because when you say direct object, if I say I threw the ball, the object is the ball because it receives the action of the throwing. So what object did Joseph do to Mary in this sentence?
Okay. So again, Joseph has possession of Mary. If I have possession of something, it's
so that's good enough. So what I got so far good enough. I ain't got to click it. Whatever. So far it's good.
if I possess this bottle, I am the subject. Possessing is the verb, and the object is this bottle. Correct?
Wouldn't we just say that's Ariela's?
He said the possession is the verb. This guy's crazy.
This bottle. I am the subject. Possessing is the verb.
Is he seriously? I mean, is he serious? Is he serious? Possess this bottle? How about I have this bottle? I'm holding this. What did you? I don't get it.
And the object is this bottle. Correct?
Wouldn't we just say that's Ariela's bottle? There's no verb needed.
Ariala.
Or wouldn't we just say, and we would just use the apostrophe s to show that that's yours. That's the same thing here. It's not. There's no verb needed to show possession.
It doesn't
there is
matter.
no verb.
It doesn't matter if it's a verb or not. In the sentence,
but now it doesn't matter. And the whole time they're talking about the verb. And the whom isn't a verb.
Sentence: Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. Right? You're taking that to mean based on and completely out of the context of what we've seen. We've seen 3 other instances where women, all right, are mentioned and men are begetting children of these women. It's the same thing here, right? Joseph is the husband of Mary. Again, that's why I asked you about the law, right? In Hebraic thoughts, if I have a wife, right? She's in the other room, right? She belongs to me, right? The scriptures say belongs to me. Object. Mary is a Hebrew. Christ is a Hebrew, right? This is how their society, their law, all right, was governed, right?
So
when we look at well, let me finish, right? We see genealogy in the law, and I can show you that. Must be the one who's doing this. Why? Because again, Marias is in the genitive case. She's the object. It says eknis. Why? Because again, Marias is in the genitive case. She's the object. The one who's doing this. Why? Because again, Marias must be the one who's doing this. Why? Because again, Marias is in the genitive case. Must be the one who's doing this. Why? Because again, Marias is in the genitive case. She's the object. It says ekis eganethin, right? Eganethin is in the passive voice. Represents the subject as being the recipient of the action. We already ruled that Marias is not the subject. She's not the subject.
So Joseph is the subject, is what you're saying.
Whether it's Joseph or Christ, regardless, Mary's not having this child absent of man.
There can't be 2 subjects, though.
Okay. In this instance, Eliud and Eliud. Okay.
There can't be 2 subjects, though.
Meeks did a Meeks channel. Clip this from Meeks channel. Did a recap. Meeks channel. history. Man, you it's a Christian history. And found the mouse. Found the mouse. We went back. And we said, bring it back up. This is the thing. I don't know how I'm gonna do this tonight. He's not gonna see.
In his sepulcher in the Garden of and this guy didn't know a lot of this stuff out. This would be angled towards the beginning of the world.
Away logic, and I would have to throw away patterns, right? We see all throughout the text, right? It's very similar, right? Josias begat Jeconias and his brethren, right? We see Zerubbabel begat Abiud, and Abiud begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor, right? We see all these things, right? So I'm seeing men begetting men, men begetting men. I see a couple times where women are mentioned, right? And you're saying that Christ is the subject, right? So let me ask you a question. Eliud begat Eleazar. Who's the subject in this sentence?
Eliud.
Why is not?
It's very points and parts. It's all that actually. Yeah. I don't know if I caught it here.
Scroll down a little bit.
What do you mean scroll down?
Article.
Down?
Yeah. Or yeah, there's a definite article. So it's accusative case. So that's right before his name. So that means that Eliezer is the direct object.
Okay. So
They, again, that they. I believe that's Hess. I don't know if it's.
This is Jacob de Egenethan down.
Are you guys? It's much more clear in Greek.
Now, Meech, I'm better off doing it from here.
Okay. In this sentence, Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob. Who's the subject here?
3 separate thoughts, though. You're going to 3 separate thoughts. On one complete thought, there cannot be 2 subjects unless one subject acts or one nominative case acts as a predicate nominative. So let me ask, because let me just ask this. Of whom? Who's that referring to?
Of whom was
yeah, who's that referring?
Mary at East.
Same thing as we see with these other women, right? If I go up here, right?
Place refers to the woman, it never mentions the man. I even have sources on that. But even the fact that it's of whom was born, that's a different formula than what we've seen all throughout.
Right? Let's look at what the word means. Right? Let's look at the outline of what it's used, right? It says the
variation of G1085. Let me see what that is real quick. Genos.
Okay, so Meech did a good job, but he didn't do a good job pinning the riot or something because he's jumping all around. And I think from here, Meech is going to let him go to the Syriac Sinaiticus English translation, allegedly.
Genos, right? And we see how Genos is used.
I would have held him on this Ganas thing, Ganawo thing. Like, no, bro. I would have kept him here. I wouldn't let him escape.
Right? How it's used. Kind, kindred, offspring, interesting. Procreated with her.
How get around the Most High?
They found something totally different.
Created me. Every trying to go.
I'll tell you one thing. Meech did better than me. I didn't even know Greek at that time.
I said, okay, who determines man 2 X chromosomes? Right?
Okay.
You only can get.
No, I got this window open.
Now he's going to the Syriac Sinaiticus. See, this is far from. So yeah, they go back.
Right.
Right.
So when we again, this is why I asked you about Christ being made of a woman, made under the law, right? So the names from 20 years old and
That's
upward.
what he wanted to do. He wanted to leave Matthew. He was stuck.
Means daughter. This is the children of Israel.
Yeah, I'm not letting nobody leave Matthew 1.
I in the subject. Possessing is the verb. Joseph has possession. Joseph
sentence.
Okay.
So I marry the object.
Right? That Mary and Joseph had sex. Gotcha. So to verse 16.
Yes, it is in the way it's spelled.
What do you mean
so
by
all
that?
throughout.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
So all throughout Matthew 1, you have eganesen, and then when it gets to verse 16, you have eganethe, which changes. As far as the inflection is concerned. So all throughout, yeah. I was gonna say all throughout it's in the active form. And then when it gets down to verse 16, it's in the passive form.
It's in the active form?
Yeah. So right here in this to verse 16, it is in the way it's spelled. Yeah.
Were mentioned, these three women that were mentioned, and Mary.
The biggest difference is that that verb that shows the birthing.
The birthing? What's the
I think in Greek is ganao.
Janeo?
Yeah. Yeah, I think in Greek is ganao, birthing.
The birthing? What's the
all right, 9:20. Okay, so I can't clip it. This is good enough. This is good enough. Okay, so that's good enough.
The birthing?
I think in Greek is ganao.
Janeo?
He's gonna correct him and say ganeo. Oh my god. God, this guy's terrible. He comes up correcting. Oh, they go to clip. Oh, no, that's meat.
The birthing?
I think in Greek is ganao.
Janeo?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that verb unique to verse 16?
Yes, it is in the way it's spelled.
What do you mean
so
by
all
that?
throughout.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
So all throughout Matthew 1, you have eganesen, and then when it gets to verse 16, you have eganethe, which changes as far as the inflection is concerned. So all throughout, yeah. I was gonna say all throughout it's in the active form, and then when it gets down to verse 16, it's in the passive form.
It's in the active form.
Yeah. So right here in this verse, yeah, eganesen.
Okay. So it's in the active voice, is what you're talking about.
Active voice, right?
Okay. Okay.
So active means that the subject is the doer of the action or performer of the action, but the passive means that the subject is the recipient of the action.
Okay.
So then we just have to establish who the subject is.
Okay. So right here we see eganethan, right? It's in the you are correct in that it's in the passive voice. It says the passive voice represents the subject as being the recipient of the action, the subject being the recipient of the action.
All right, so I got him asleep. Finally, he's asleep. Well, he might wake up, but he's at least asleep. He's at least asleep.
In the sentence, we were comforted, the subject we receives the action, right? So you're telling me that Mary is the subject of this part of the sentence?
No, Christ is, or Jesus.
All right, so that's good.
When you hover over that word, it'll tell you it's
All right, okay. So he doesn't understand who the subject is.
Jesus.
Of this part of the sentence. So you're telling me that we were comforted, the subject we receives the action, right? So
okay, there we go. So 11:04 is good enough. All right. 11:04 is good enough. We're getting close to showtime. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so we are gonna get started tonight. It's gonna be late, but let's get started. Give me a second. Anyway, it looks like 11:04 is where I want it. Yep. Okay, cool. Subject. I did not eat, so I'm like kind of hyper. Oh my god, I'm talking fast. I'm gonna be talking fast. I gotta make a conscious effort to talk slow.
you're telling me that Mary is the subject of this part of the sentence?
No, Christ is, or Jesus. When you hover over that word, it'll tell you it's when you hover over Jesus, which is right after eganethe. Yeah, it'll tell you it's nominative case. And nominative means that it's the subject of the sentence.
Okay. Okay, so Christ is the subject.
All right, he received the action of being born.
He received the action of being born. Okay, I got you. So let's read it. So it says Jacob de eganethan down Yosef down Andra Marias, right? Ek is eganethan Jesus o legamemos Christos. Okay, cool. So I would be able to trek with you, right? But I would have to just throw away logic, and I would have to throw away patterns, right? We see all throughout the text, right? It's very right. We see Zerubbabel begat Abiud, and Abiud begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor, right? We see all these things, right? So I'm seeing men begetting men, men begetting men. I see a couple times where women are mentioned, right? And you're saying that Christ is the subject, right? So let me ask you a question. Eliud begat Eleazar. Who's the subject in this sentence?
Eliud.
Why is not Eleazar the subject?
Eliud
Eliud begat Eleazar. Who's the subject? Christ is the subject. Men begetting men. I see a couple times where women are mentioned, right?
Okay, so 1236.
And you're saying that Christ is the subject, right? So let me ask you a question. Eliud begat Eleazar. Who's the subject in this sentence?
Eliud.
Why is not Eleazar the subject?
Because he's the direct object. He receives the action.
Okay,
the
so
direct object. If you go, oh, that's interesting.
It doesn't.
So
it doesn't.
These
it doesn't say what. It doesn't say what Eleazar is right here.
Wait,
right?
go down. Right after, or yeah, Eleazar is the direct object.
I'll go Eliud.
I think because it's a proper noun that name plays.
Mary's name. Yeah. Okay, so is there? Am I going to get anything when I look at Mary's name? Case refers to the case. Okay, so let's look in the context of this sentence. And Jacob begat Joseph. Jacob is begetting Joseph, and Joseph is the husband of Mary, right? Of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. Cool. So Jacob is begetting Joseph, and then Joseph, he's the husband of Mary, right? When we look at Mary, Mary's in the genitive case. Mary's name is the object. To in to what? In relationship to what? To her being the wife of Joseph and he being her husband, right? If Joseph is her husband, if the text is saying that Joseph is the husband of Mary, right? That lets us know, first and foremost, off rip in the Hebraic mind, right? That Mary and Joseph had sex.
Just because it says husband?
Yeah. Is a woman might
only have to use. I probably can only use one clip here. Let me just get this. Let's see. This is it.
Again, Jacob Eganethan down Yosef, right? Down Andra Marias, right? When we look at Marias is in the genitive case, right?
Yeah, that's good enough, right? Okay, so I'm gonna just use that one because he again, like, you got to clip it and edit all the bullshit in between to get him to say it. He said it in my debate with me. All right, hold on. It's almost showtime. It's almost showtime. Almost showtime.
So is a woman my wife if I haven't had sex with her?
Well, so you're coming back from first century times. Of course, today it's different. If I call a woman my wife, we're actually married. But back in the first century, espousal was actually looked at in the eyes of the law as being married. I mean, even if you go to
espousal, that's only in the case of a situation where a man, not a spouse for that woman, right, sleeps with that woman. That woman and that man committed adultery because he was already promised that the man. So let's say, right? Joseph, right? Jacob is Joseph's dad, right? And Mary has a dad, right? We don't know Mary's dad's name, right? You are reporting that this is somehow Mary's lineage, but I see no tying of Mary to this lineage outside of her relationship to Joseph being her husband, right? So this is not Mary's lineage, right? So
he's not going to sleep. This is amazing, man. So he woke up. How you been? All right. So he's not going to sleep without. He made that clear. Okay, fine. He just woke up and came all the way to me in the kitchen. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. He's gotta lay him down again, but it's gonna start by the time he even go to sleep. He'll be already live. All right. Yeah, he's not gonna sleep. He's just not gonna sleep. All right. So it is what it is.
And she's a spouse.
All right. I gotta do what I gotta do then. And let me end his live. Okay, so just look out for vocabs link. I mean, fine. Let me get off here.